Vaccines are an important tool that humans have developed over time to create immunity over deadly diseases. Vaccines have lots of history and has gone through many innovations. They have been in common use for years because they have so many benefits. Despite benefits, there are also downsides, whether it be religiously or opinionated. Vaccines have been around since the 1700s, but they still have a future in our world and continue to grow throughout the years.
How it works. Vaccines are small molecules of disease injected into the human body. These small particles are fought off by the body so that when the real disease comes along, the body will be prepared to fight it off. This is called immunity, and it is how we continue to fight off diseases for long periods of time.
In the year 1769, a man named Edward Jenner created the first ever successful vaccine. He created a vaccine for smallpox after following his observations with milkmaids who had previously caught cowpox but did not catch smallpox. He demonstrated that vaccines are possible after he injected a 13-year-old boy with cowpox. The cowpox virus only caused mild infections in humans, but in the end created an immune response which provided a cross protection against the smallpox infection. Almost after a century after Jenner developed his technique, a man named Louis Pasteur followed the idea and tested what he called the rabies vaccine in 1855. He developed this by administering cowpox pus into a human being in order to prevent that person catching smallpox, thus producing an antitoxin or antidote to rabies.
Vaccines did not start as a scientific discovery but as a connection made by the human brain. This first connection was made with smallpox. In the 1700s, smallpox was at its peak, killing thousands. Everyone was getting smallpox, but pretty soon people began to notice that milkmaids were not. It was discovered that milkmaids who had cowpox, which is a different form of smallpox, became almost immune to smallpox. With this information, Edward Jenner experimented by taking a small particle of a cowpox wart and gave it to someone who hadn't gotten smallpox yet, to try and create an immunity. This made it so that their body would be ready to fight smallpox if it ever came along. This method was successful but very dangerous. Innovations had to be made. In 1970, two major discoveries were made that changed the creation of vaccines. These discoveries were genetic sequencing and expression of proteins in plasmids. Another important discovery was recombinant technology. Recombinant technology allows the target to be produced outside of the organism, so that no infectious or toxic components of the virus need to be handled by the body. This reduced the side effects of vaccines and made them safer for use. In the 1980s, adjuvantation was discovered. Adjuvantation enhanced the virus to increase the immunity that the body would have on it. Aside from all of these discoveries making vaccines better, mistakes were found too. One mistake that scientists found was that despite previous knowledge, polysaccharide-based vaccines did not keep people immune for very long, especially children. Each small innovation helps scientists work toward the final product to keep the people of our world safe and healthy.
So I've been researching how there have been a lot of innovations in creating vaccines. What do you think is like the most important innovation that's been made to vaccines? Of like the way they were created, like they started out as like putting scabs from cowpox onto people to see if they could like create immunity, just like stuff like that.
Well, I mean, technology has just improved. And the first vaccination, was from cowpox, was right. And so that was like a little piece of a disease that's related to smallpox. And so it protected people from smallpox. So now the vaccines are not made that way. They're made obviously.
Vaccines are scientifically proven to help prevent diseases ranging from smallpox and pertussis to serious infections. Despite some theories and worries that superstitious people may have, experts say that it is cheaper to prevent a disease than to treat it. Despite the rumor, there is no scientific correlation between autism and vaccines. When people refuse to vaccinate themselves or their children, they're not just harming themselves or their children, but they're imposing risk on the community around them, whether it be a child's school or a place of work. Babies who are too young to be vaccinated become very susceptible to serious diseases when adults don't vaccinate themselves. Studies show that in a year, vaccines prevent more than 8,500 child hospitalizations in Colorado, 33,000 deaths in the US, and 2 or 3 million deaths worldwide. Also, people may worry that vaccines are dangerous. Vaccines go through solid safety testing prior to being approved by the Food and Drug Administration, or the FDA, and are continually monitored for safety. Negative reactions to vaccines are extremely rare. Vaccines are really important also because even if America doesn't have any people with a certain disease anymore, as soon as one person from another country has the disease comes to America, American citizens are immediately exposed to it if they aren't protected/vaccinated.
Vaccines are great and all, but somehow every great thing has skeptics and false information. Andrew Wakefield made a study in 1997 that claimed vaccines can cause autism. People believe this guy, and ever since then there has been a group of people that believe vaccines are bad and all this other stuff. But little do they know, the article Andrew Wakefield made had some serious procedural errors along with ethical violations. After this, multiple major studies were made about his claim/hypothesis, and none of them found a link between vaccines and autism.
Right now, researchers are searching for new ways to deliver vaccines and make already existing vaccines last longer. Currently, vaccines have to be administered by a trained professional, and in the case of a widespread outbreak, it will be harder to keep the needle sterile to avoid infections. To fix this problem, researchers have been looking for different ways to deliver it. Some ways we can deliver vaccines in the future would be by making them edible or turning them into a skin patch. By doing this, it will not only make it easier to get vaccines to people, it would also lower the cost of vaccines. Researchers have also been looking into making vaccines for already existing diseases like cancer and HIV and more. But one major flaw with vaccines is that they need to be stored in cool temperatures. This makes it a lot harder to ship vaccines to other countries. Not storing vaccines in the right temperature can render it ineffective, and making vaccines able to withstand higher temperatures will not only make it easier to ship, but they won't have to be stored so carefully. So far, the main thing researchers want to do is remove the need for shots altogether and have it so that more people in more countries have access to vaccines.
Yeah, have you heard any rumors about vaccinations that, are not true?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, entirely. I mean, the most widespread common one is that vaccines relate to autism, which is absolutely false. So there's no scientific evidence that proves that. In fact, there's evidence that proves the opposite. Specifically, the MMR vaccine, measles, mumps, rubella. There's been, a lot of negative press about that, being linked with autism and behavioral disorders.
Yeah.
And then also there's a really common fallacy that the flu shot causes the flu. I have heard that from so many of my patients when I offer them flu shots. They say, oh no, I don't want to have the flu. I got the flu when I got the flu shot 2 years ago or something. And that's also not true. Vaccines do not give you the actual disease. The symptoms that people experience after flu shots or after certain shots might be coincidental, or they might feel just a little bit fatigued because of their immune system working to boost the response to the vaccine. So anyways, I'd say those are the two main fallacies, the link with autism and the fact or the myth that many shots can give you the actual disease.
All right, thank you.
What kind of vaccines are most used today?
Most used?
Yeah, most common.
That's a good question. I don't really know how to answer that. I mean, in my clinic, we offer, for kids, for example, we offer
determined that advancements in vaccines is indeed progress toward keeping our country safe and healthy.